Morning, everyone. Maxime Bernier is tweeting, and he's on topic as usual. He's firing on all cylinders about global compact on migration. And I got to tell you that is one of the main topics of conversation when I engage in conversation, serious conversation about politics with everybody over the last 6 months. That is without a doubt the first thing that comes up. Not necessarily the global compact on migration, but illegal immigration, what's being done about it, what's not being done about it, and what's going to happen in the future. So I'm glad to be reporting. Now, like in the morning, I read through Twitter. So I read through what Andrew Scheer is tweeting about. I read through what Maxime Bernier is tweeting about. This wasn't meant to be a Maxime Bernier tweet roundup, but it turned into that. And I'll show you because I want to show you the contrast and show you what Andrew Scheer is tweeting. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. So I'm trying to be balanced. I am biased. You have to know that. I am biased. I like Max a lot more than Andrew, but at the same time, I'm trying to give everybody as much information as possible and communicate it in an unbiased way, or as unbiased as I can, because I like some policies, and I'm going to tell you about the policies that I like because that's part of the opinion that I have. So I hope that you're on board for that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Here we go. So Maxime Bernier is tweeting, "There is now coordinated propaganda across the world to make us believe that mass migration is a normal thing that is beneficial to all. The Global Compact on Migration even has its own international film festival. Be inspired, be transformed." And I watched this little 30-second clip, and it's propaganda. Right at the end, it says entry, like the film festival is an actual film festival. There's 40 films, and the production value looks top-notch. Tides has put every single dollar on this. They haven't spared an expense, and it looks great. But at the same time, it's all propaganda. It's propaganda garbage. This is the modern version of Goebbels, and all of those propaganda artists have perfected their craft. And here it is. And people will share this, and they'll think, oh, and we're going to be inspired and transform and blah, 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 blah. And it's total trash. And what Max is saying is he's calling this out. He's saying this is coordinated propaganda. For a politician to say this, especially a politician who's seriously a contender for leadership of the country, that's a serious thing. That's in my opinion, that's making news. And I like that he's calling this out because he's not wrong. And this starts the conversation. You have to be bold. You have to make a statement like this in order to start the conversation. Otherwise, people will ignore you. So one way or the other, Max is pushing this conversation, and I appreciate that. That's excellent. Another Maxime Bernier tweet, he says, quote, "More evidence of coordinated propaganda by the UN to encourage mass migration in Canada." And he says it again in French. And I had to go down this little rabbit hole, so this is a quick one, but it's in response to this tweet here. And it says, PPC, and this is a PPC writing, "Is UNCanada encouraging migrants to exploit third country loophole by deliberately using Roxham Rd to cross illegally from New York to Quebec City? See Roxham tag below. Click it to see the extent of the crisis." And here's the Roxham Rd tag. All of these tags are going to be in the description, but have a gander through what's happening. People are talking, which is good. This is positive that people are talking, but not enough. And that's disgusting. Sorry about that, everyone. And again, when the leader of a federal party is tweeting about this is starting the conversation. This is saying, yeah, we're going to talk about this. Because if it was up to Justin Trudeau, we wouldn't be talking about this. This would be irregular border crossers are having a tough time, and Canadians need to give more. That would be the message. So it's pretty incredible. The fact that our border is porous, open even in Quebec, and our government is doing nothing but carrying bags and welcoming these fake refugees to hotels on our dime, and it's very disturbing, very frustrating. Because again, and I've said before, we know that 90% of these people do not qualify for any status in Canada. Their claim will be rejected. So the reason that we're spending all this money on them is no reason at all. They have no claim. So it's very strange. And that ties all in to the Global Compact on Migration. So at the first tweet I showed you of Max's, he's calling out the Global Compact on Migration specifically as propaganda. And Italy is now out. Italy's out. They won't be taking part. They're not even sending a delegate. And good for them. Mr. Salvini is popular, again, because he talks about things that people are interested in. And people are interested in or afraid of uncontrolled borders and unregulated migration. That has never been legal. That has never been the way humans move around the world. And trying to pretend that it is for some virtue signaling insanity is crazy. And I'm glad Italy is out. I have and am maintaining a list of countries that are out of the Global Compact on Migration. Each one has a link to a news article that talks about them being out. And sometimes, if you want to come and check it out, the link will be in the description. Maxime Bernier held a rally last night in Winnipeg. There was a snowstorm, but 200 people showed up. And CBC, I wanted to show you this because it's CBC, says, quote, "A breath of fresh air, Maxime Bernier holds first Manitoba rally since forming Canada's newest federal party." And I had to do a double take. I was like, CBC reporting nicely on Max? So the conspiracy theorists are going to say, oh, they're trying to split the Conservative vote. They're giving him good press to split the vote. I don't know. Maybe that's the game. Here is Maxime Bernier, and it says, Holly Carrick. Maxime Bernier is welcomed by a crowd of about 200 in Winnipeg tonight. He's here for a rally for his new political party, the People's Party of Canada. And there it is. And so what's Andrew Scheer tweeting about? I keep saying that he's not talking about things that people are interested in. He's talking close. It's like when you're playing darts and the other guy is getting bullseyes and you're getting, the one on the outside ring. I don't play darts. I'm sorry. That's a terrible analogy. But Andrew Scheer's missing the mark. He's not quite there. He's hitting stuff that people care about and are talking about, but he's talking about wonky things that are hard to translate into water cooler conversations. I think that's it. So Andrew Scheer says, quote, "Because Justin Trudeau has failed to get our energy to markets and his pipeline killing bill C-69 is chasing away investment, Canadian oil is facing a pricing crisis. We've called an emergency session to address the crisis that is hitting Alberta hard." And again, here's their meme, and it says, "Fact. Canada's energy industry has already lost more than 100,000 jobs since 2015. Justin Trudeau's failure to address the price differential crisis is making it worse. Canada's Conservatives have forced an emergency parliamentary session to address the crisis facing Albertans." Okay, so one, there's no call to action here, guys. You need to tell people to share. Pull this up just a little bit. Make this a little bit smaller, the fact a little bit smaller. Give yourself, 30, 40, 50, 60 pixels here and say, "Share if you agree." And you'll get a lot more traction. Okay? That's free. Really, put a call to action on your memes. But everybody knows that Trudeau is ignoring this crisis. Oshawa, and to be fair, Mr. Scheer, before talking about, he unloads on Alberta, on the energy sector. But Oshawa lost 2,500 jobs, and Trudeau immediately responded, day of, Alberta's lost 100,000 jobs since 2015, and Trudeau's pointedly ignored it. And so what is the goal of the emergency session in Congress? In the House, sorry. What is the goal? What's going to get done? Because Trudeau's just going to sit there and ignore you. We've watched that for 2 years. We've watched that for 3 years. He just sits there and he reads his platitudes, he reads his written down statements, and then sits down and pretends that he's answered the question. And not that everybody lets him off the hook, but the arrogance that the Liberal government is showing and continues to show, there's no end in sight. So having an emergency session to have Trudeau ignore you seems counterproductive. Why not have a rally? Why not? Every time Trudeau's shown up in Calgary, he has been protested by hundreds of people. And the first protest, I believe, at least 1,000 people showed up to protest his oil and gas industry stuff. So there are people who are very interested in this aspect of the platform. But we know your position on this. And we know Trudeau's position on this, and we all know it's not going to change. And we all know Alberta's going to vote for the Conservatives. So why are you wasting time on it? But you've wasted 4 tweets. You have Alberta. You've tied that up. You need to get Quebec and Ontario. That's the point. So Andrew Scheer says, quote, "Today CPC HQ called an emergency session to address the oil price crisis in Alberta caused by Justin Trudeau's failure to get pipelines built. Canada's Conservatives are fighting to clean up the mess Trudeau has created." So, and quote, "Under my plan for a safer Canada, those who make straw purchases of guns will face prison time and a weapons ban. Learn more." And guns. Okay, so Andrew Scheer is planning to crack down on straw purchases, which that's across state lines usually. Like you go to a legal, like we go to Buffalo, New York, and buy a gun and come back. But again, missing the mark. Like, gun violence is a problem, but it's a symptom of open borders. So why not talk about the open borders? That's not a secret. When you've got porous borders like that, people are walking over with whatever they want. And here's another Alberta tweet, quote, "We're losing billions of dollars every year because of the discount on Canadian oil, and energy workers in Alberta and across Canada are in dire straits. Justin Trudeau can give lip service to this crisis all he wants, but time and time again, he has failed to get the job done." And here's the meme, and it says, "Justin Trudeau is failing Canadian workers. The Trudeau Liberals have killed or stalled on 3 major pipeline projects, the Northern Gateway, the Trans Mountain, and Energy East. 31,000 jobs, 29 billion private investments, 2 million barrels a day, 5,500 kilometers of new pipeline not laid." And right here, guys, just at the bottom, share if you agree. Okay? It's easy. It's 5 or 6 words, and you will get more engagement with that. Just do it. It's easy. People will listen. Oh, I should share this. Yay. They don't just do it. You got to tell them to do it. It seems silly. It works. I don't know why. But again, you're preaching to the choir here. Everybody who knows these statistics knows them and is already angry at Trudeau. You're preaching to the choir. Start talking about the things. You're losing ground. You're losing ground, and I'm glad you are. But hey, here we are. So thank you for watching. Check out the People's Party of Canada.ca and Maxime Bernier. He's got lots of rallies, lots of energy, lots of stuff happening. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.